Hello. Time to finally start case 2. The captive turnabout. Yeah, okay. Still no sign of them, huh?
Here. How long do they intend to keep us waiting?
Now, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure the guard will bring him in any second now.
The killing of Bastien Rook. It's been 2 days since the incident at the park, and today we're paying a visit to the detention center. Our aim, of course, is to interview Bronco Knight, who has been charged with the murder. His trial is due to start tomorrow, and I am to be the prosecutor behind the bench. What's taking so long? You there, what's going on?
I don't know, sir. I'll go and check. We got a situation. It's Knight. He's been killed.
What? Killed? In the detention center?
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. What are you waiting for?
Right, guard, take us to the scene of the crime at once.
Yes, sir.
Well, it didn't happen in the holding cells, and surely that was where he is being held.
What's the hold-up? Crime scene's this way.
Where are you taking us? Doesn't that door lead to? The prison proper, yes.
You mean those other cells aren't part of the prison?
Not exactly, no. Those are the detention center's holding cells. That's where defendants are kept while they are awaiting trial. The area beyond this door serves a rather different purpose. Oh, yeah, it's where the people who are convicted serve out their time. I suppose you could say it's the last place a great thief should ever want to be.
I've unlocked it, sir. Please follow me.
That's Knight, all right, but he's dead. How could this have happened? And how did he wind up inside the prison proper?
This is horrible. How did Mr. Knight get himself murdered?
I can hardly believe it myself, but there can be no doubting the evidence of our own eyes.
What's he doing here? I thought he was being held in the detention center, no?
He was. He must have been. His trial hadn't even begun yet. The law states that until convicted, suspects are to be kept in cells separate from the main prison. Only those who have been found guilty are sent to the prison proper. There's no way Knight should have been in here. Oh, maybe he wandered his way over? The detention center and the prison are separated, not only by 2 heavy doors, but also a lengthy corridor.
Well, I'll see another way.
That would have been a long way to wander, especially for a detainee. I suppose we'd better take a closer look at Knight's body. We'll need to examine the scene of the crime carefully if we want to get to the bottom of this.
Time to inspect every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Indeed, this area is too big to take in all at once. Fortunately, I can use the RS to look up or down. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Looks like a pulley of some kind.
Maybe the prisoners use it for work?
I suppose so, yes.
Okay, so I know you're going to say no, but...
Absolutely not, Kay. You are not permitted to swing on that rope.
I knew it.
Ugh, I should have known you were being serious.
Weird having something like this in a prison, huh? A cage inside a cage?
Technically, Kay, a prison isn't made up of cages, but cells.
What's the difference? No offense, Mr. Edgeworth, but you gotta look at the basic nature of things more.
Yes, and the basic nature of an investigation is the pursuit of accurate facts and information. These tops are rather colourful.
They kind of stand out in a room like this, don't they?
They certainly don't look like they belong in a prison.
Look, there's a whip on top of them. You know who that reminds me of, right? Hey, maybe it's actually hers. Maybe she left it here.
Not a chance. She and her whip are attached at the wrist. Trust me. And there was a rope near Knight's body too.
Speaking of which, wanna see my super stealthy
Rope escape trick? Thanks, but I'll let you know when I'm in need of saving. He seems genuinely disappointed. This part of the floor is covered with dirt. Oh, you know what that means, sir. Footprints. Too many footprints, unfortunately. We'll need a specialist to identify them. Oh, I guess we just gotta wait till forensics gets here. Yes, and in the meantime, if you could refrain from treading all over it. Well, wouldn't want to slip up and get the old jacket dirty, huh? Good point, Mr. Edgeworth. Thanks. My concern was for the footprints, not your jacket, Detective. These seem to be a list of These seem to be lists of prisoner reservations for the this blah 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 blah. This seems to be lists of prisoner reservations for this workshop.
What are all these numbers, Mr. Edgeworth?
Prisoner numbers, I'd imagine.
Seem to be given a number like that.
I rather agree. People are meant to have names.
I'd much rather be called Great Thief or the Second Yatagarasu.
Alright, no name for you then, I guess. Anything out of the ordinary to report, officer?
Yes, sir. There is this one thing.
Go on.
There's a body in the workshop, sir. He's right. It's definitely on the ordinary.
If anything else occurs to you, you know where to find me. Oh, yes, sir. Arrested for murder on the afternoon of the 25th and killed on the morning of the 27th. Talk about instant karma. Now I would have thought our perp would turn into a victim himself, though. Yes, I don't like this at all.
Well, you don't think it was that ice cream guy, do you, sir? I'd seen his face, right? Maybe you couldn't afford to let him live.
Chili the killer, you mean? No, if this were his doing, he would surely have left a calling card. And besides, Knight isn't the only one who knows what he looks like. We do too.
Oh yeah. I guess we're still alive, so...
Still, this is a high security facility. I just don't understand how it was even possible.
Well, I guess it makes sense having the detention center and the prison in the same building. Means they can share the visitors' room.
Indeed, it's an unusual design, but it's certainly convenient for anyone visiting.
Yeah, but then, why have two different areas in the first place?
For the two different classes of detainees, of course. Those pre-trial and those post-trial. The two facilities may be housed in the same building in this case, but they are actually quite different.
Well, all I know is that they're both cramped and dark, and don't let you leave when you want.
Perhaps spending a night in each would help clarify the differences between them.
No, I'm good, thanks.
It's a sink.
Doesn't seem to contain any useful clues.
Nope, nowhere for treasure either.
You do know we're not actually looking for treasure, right?
What's with all this weird... What's with all the weird equipment?
I'm not sure, but I don't see anything particularly suspicious here.
Smells weird though. Kinda musky, like wet fur.
I didn't know you had such a keen nose.
Oh, it's nothing special really. So when it comes to sniffing out treasure.
Remind me to seal all my valuables away in airtight containers.
No way, Mr. Edgeworth. I'd never steal any of your stuff.
But you would happily steal someone else's. I'm not sure that's entirely reassuring. Bronco Knight, killed the day before his court date. We'd better take a closer look.
Neck brace is soaked with blood from the hole in his neck.
I would assume that's the cause of death, and that it was probably instantaneous. He wouldn't have even had the chance to cry out for help. There's a small cut on his scalp too. Was he struck with something?
Well, maybe he fell and hit his head after he was stabbed in the throat.
It's possible, but it's too early to say with any certainty. Kay, you have your camera with you, correct? Would you lend it to the detective so that he can photograph the body?
Sure thing. All yours, Gummy.
Thanks. Alright, here we go. His clothes sure are a mess though, huh?
Indeed, they appear to be covered in dirt.
Well, guess he's like me when it comes to laundry.
It would be a grave error to think that anybody else could be quite like you, Detective. A rubber glove.
Yep, just the one though.
I should examine it in more detail. There's mud all over it.
Maybe the prisoners were making mud pies? Wish I could have joined them. They're making mud pies.
Not anywhere near my crime scene, you're not. The fingers are covered in blood on this side. I think we can safely assume that this glove was dropped sometime after Knight's blood had been spilled.
We can? How come?
Because had it been on the floor when the pool of blood was forming, then the blood would have flowed around it, but not underneath it.
Oh, meaning there'd only be a band of blood around the edges of the fingers, not all over the backside.
Assuming the glove was discarded after the blood had pooled around the body.
Maybe our murderer ditched it after they did the deed.
It's certainly a possibility. At the very least, whoever it was that dropped it must have seen the body. You there.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen that glove before?
Yes, sir. The prisoners wear them for work. Strange, though. Prisoners issued with those gloves are under strict orders to keep them in their cells. They aren't allowed to take them out without permission, and we always check.
I suppose that would explain why there aren't any other gloves in the workshop. The body is partially covered by a dirt-stained tarp.
There's a rope on top of it.
Wasn't I tied up with the rope somehow? We should take a look under this sheet as well.
Look at all that red stuff.
Yes, I'd say that's blood.
Keep looking around. There's bound to be more secrets to uncover. I'm sure of it.
There's something on his finger.
Let's take a closer look, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a ring, an expensive looking one at that.
Don't even think about it, Kay.
What? I didn't say anything. Is that...
Oh, I've seen one of those in your office, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm sure you have, Detective. It's a pocket chess set. The victims, I'd imagine.
Makes sense. You love chess after all.
Yeah, it would have been a good way to pass the time.
Right. These tarps have a pretty distinctive design, in fact.
It's the same design as the bloody tarp around Mr. Knight's body.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth.
That'll teach you to be so careless, Mr. Edgeworth. You need to keep your treasures close when there's a great thief around.
I thought you were on sabbatical. Not a bad bit of evidence gathering.
Nothing can stop us when we're on the hunt together, right, Gummy?
Well, you betcha. We're unstoppable. A regular Three Musketeers.
Let's not get carried away, Detective. There's one thing we still haven't found.
What do you mean, sir?
What's missing from this crime scene?
The murder weapon.
I see no sign of a murder weapon anywhere.
Right. I didn't even think of that.
Come now, Detective. These are basic investigative principles we're talking about here.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, sorry, sir.
Don't worry, Gummy. It hadn't crossed my mind either.
A fact that hardly puts my mind at ease, Kay. Items that can prove even potentially lethal are strictly controlled within prison. After all, we wouldn't want the inmates getting their hands on them, would we? Which means acquiring a murder weapon would be hard enough, let alone leaving the scene with one.
Oh yeah, nice thinking, Mr. Edgeworth.
What was the murder weapon, and where has it gone? The answer to these questions may be the keys to figuring out what happened here.
Didn't know you guys had the whole entourage. Had a whole entourage. Excusez-moi, but this is the scene of the crime, right?
You're...
Well, wait a second. No way. Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow.
Mr. Fender.
It has been far too long. But alright, and even after all this time I know that deep brow anywhere, and that neck whereofs. Manfred von Karma, the man, the legend. Gotta say, I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh, what are you talking about, pal?
This is Mr. Edgeworth, not that old geezer.
Detective, please.
Oh, Edgeworth? Whoa, guess that explains the fresh face. Can't blame a guy for mixing you two up, though. You're the spitting image of the old devil in his day.
I see you haven't changed.
How many years has it been? Man, good question. But who's counting, eh? Ain't away traveling so long I lost track. You know how it is. But you know what I do remember? You betraying everything you were supposed to stand for.
Well, where did that come from? And who are you anyway?
This is Eddie Fender. He's a defense attorney.
Enchante, as they say. Fender's the name and defending's the game. I'm a bit of an ace attorney.
Oh, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
I'm Kay Faraday, great thief. I'm on sabbatical at the moment though.
A great thief? Wow, that's so romantic. Très chic, if you will.
Right, it's nice to finally meet someone who gets it. I'm looking to expand the franchise actually. I even made signing up super simple.
Sounds awesome. I'll have to come hang with you guys, if you'll have me.
Sorry, I should have also mentioned that it's girls only. And they have to be super fun and super cool and...
Hey, I totally get it. No hard feelings, yeah? Come on, bring it in.
You've got to be kidding.
My bad, my bad. I'm just so used to how they do things elsewhere, you know?
And why are you here, Mr. Fender?
Oh, whoops, almost forgot this is your scene. Keeping the defense out is strategy number one in the Von Karma playbook after all, isn't it?
Hey, quit it with all the Von Karma stuff, pal. What gives?
Hold it!
Detective, calm yourself. His attitude is unfortunately understandable.
Oh, it is?
I take it you are Mr. Knight's attorney.
Guilty as charged, Your Honor. Well, I was supposed to be anyway.
So, he was planning to represent Knight if his client hadn't been murdered. He and I would have faced off against each other in court. I'd better see what he has to say for himself. So, the victim asked you to represent him.
Sure did. We were supposed to have a little chat today.
As was I. But a guard showed up instead and told us that his body had been found.
I'm as bummed about it as you. Even brought him some weenies to cheer him up.
Mr. Fender, you know you can't bring food into the prison.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see now. Want some? Little advice I picked up on my travels. So Moorish.
No, thank you.
Fine, you do you. What are you doing here anyhow? Don't tell me you wanted to hear Nightside. Von Karma was always more of a convicted offender at all cost guy. He didn't teach you that?
That was a long time ago.
If you say so. Sure you don't want any weenies?
No, thank you.
Have you met with your client previously? Yes, indeed, Your Honor. Just yesterday, in fact. The broadcaster called me the minute he was arrested. Sounded really freaked out, man. Oh yeah, mentioned your little performance, too. According to him, you really made a nuisance of yourself. And not a kind word was spoken, I'm sure. Well, sticks and stones and all that. Boy, did he not like you. Trash talked you something fierce. Can't say I didn't join in the fun, though. Fun? How dare you, Mr. Fender? Lighten up, kid. I'm kind of a fixture in the visitor's room here. And I don't think I ever had that much of a gap.
Oh, so you come here a lot?
Hey, don't go getting the wrong idea though, sis. I'm never on the wrong side of the bars. Just happen to know someone who is. The visitor's room is usually where I'm at, but this isn't exactly my first time in the clink either.
In which case, I'd better ask him what he knows about this room. Tell me, what do you know about the scene of the crime?
Oh, this room? No, dude. What do you know about it? I'll give you 3 choices.
It's a workshop. I know it's a workshop. Why isn't it a workshop? Is it a recreation room?
Oh, I don't even know how to want to know how you spend your spare time, Edgeworth. Guess there's plenty you could play with if you use your imagination, Robs. Now let's see what the answer key has to say, shall we? Oh no, you got it wrong. This is actually a workshop.
So, all the options he gave me were wrong. How infantile.
The cons come here to perform various duties. They can learn new skills too, like some qualifications for when they're back on the street.
I see. And how is access to this room controlled? Who has the key?
Chill out, Edgeworth. I don't have all the answers. My man over there probably does, though. Right, compadre? Yes, sir. The workshops aren't locked with physical keys. The doors are fitted with sensors instead.
What kind of sensors?
Inmates are issued with special bracelets, sir. When they walk through a workshop door, the sensor checks their bracelet. And if they're not supposed to be there, ding-a-ling-a-ling, an alarm sounds. If they let it ring for too long, then they get a real shock, if you know what I mean. If they try to break or remove the bracelet, shock 3 times worse than that.
What? That's brutal.
I guess they need to ensure that all the inmates follow the rules, but that sounds a bit excessive.
If they wish to pass through a door like this one, prisoners need to be accompanied by a guard. You disable the sensor for them and let them in.
You get all that? Have any prisoners used this workshop today?
No, sir. No one's been in here for days. We'd know if they had.
So, no prisoners have entered, let alone used this workshop today. Which means that there's a contradiction in this crime scene. Namely, there's something here that shouldn't be. I'll take another quick look over the crime scene and employ my powers of deduction to solve this mystery.
I mean... Why is it still doesn't have a...
Yeah. I don't. Fine. Oh, what am I missing? Particular. Would it be the glove? Prisoners aren't able to come and go from this workshop as they please. The door sensor would detect their bracelets and the alarm would sound. What's more, according to the guard, no prisoners were authorized to be in this room at all today. And yet, here we have a rubber glove of the kind issued to inmates. This is a clear contradiction.
Well, so where did the glove come from, sir?
I don't know, Detective. Not yet, anyway. All I know for now is that the glove is a valuable piece of evidence. You, apart from prisoners and guards, who else has access to this room?
No one, sir. This is a prison after all. Prisoners and guards are pretty much all there is.
Mr. Fender?
Come on, don't play us like that, friend. We both know that's not true. You know as well as I do that prisoners and guards aren't the only ones who can come in here. Huh? Oh, do you mean... But sir, they're...
Mr. Fender, would you care to get to the point? Who exactly are you talking about?
What? You don't have a pair of peepers in that hard head of yours? You didn't see them on your way in? Wandering about in the corridors, chilling with their buds? I bet if you moseyed on out of that door right now, you'd trip over one of them before you'd taken a step.
Well, listen, pal, we've had just about enough of your baloney.
Take a chill pill, big guy. I'm on your side. You know, for such a wise fella, you have a very narrow mind.
What did you...
Hold it!
Detective?
Oh, sorry, sir.
Look, just follow me, okay? Seeing is believing, isn't that what they say? This is no ordinary... This is no ordinary slammer. Here the humans share their space with some special friends.
Animals?
Yep. Furred and feathered fellas of all shapes and sizes. Good fill me in on how it came about. Seems they decided to try a little experiment in animal therapy a few years back. The cons are assigned a critter each, a buddy to help keep their spirits up.
Really? Wow, that sounds like so much fun.
Plus, inmates can even earn pet care qualifications if they go through some job training with the animals.
Oh, that must be what all the equipment in the workshop is for.
You got it. Room set up specially for that training stuff.
So, when you said somebody else could have been at the scene of the crime,
Exactamundo, big guy. I was talking about these guys.
but that just means you're still talking baloney. What would an animal do with a rubber glove?
Good question. All I'm saying is that it was possible. The rest is Mr. Prosecutor's problem.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, you want me to arrest this piece of baloney? Just say the word.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying these animals can wander freely around the prison?
You know those sensors on the doors? They detect the prisoner's bracelets and sound the alarm when somebody goes walkabout. Well, for our furry friends, it's the other way around. They're fitted with microchips that open doors right up.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. They're implanted just under the skin around the shoulders. Big needle, quick jab, and voila.
What? Doesn't it hurt?
Nope, they don't feel a thing. That's what they tell me anyway. Now where was I? Alright, so the point is they're not the baddies here. Well, there's no reason to punish them.
It's ironic, really.
Here in this institution where the humans are caged, the animals are free to roam to their heart's content. They're not completely free though. They can't leave the prison proper for one thing. No sensor on that big mother of a door out, you see.
What's that tinkling sound?
So?
Just look at that thing. Is that a bell around its neck? That explains the sound, I suppose.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you seriously trying to stare it down?
I refuse to lose to a dog.
Not for nothing, sir, but your dog handling skills could use some work. Leave it to a pro. I know how to treat them right. Come on now, come a gummy. Man, ignored by a dog.
That dog was certainly very different to the other animals. And it seemed to have a real thing against me, and only me.
Alrighty then. You met the menagerie. What's next?
Well, guess we better interview some witnesses, right, sir?
Indeed, we need more information regarding what was happening around the time when the body was found.
Well, then let's start with that guy. You there, in the cell. Oh, no again.
Hello, we were wondering if you might be able to tell us anything about this morning's incident.
Is anyone else a little afraid of this guy?
Not a big talker, huh? It's alright, man. I'm on your side here. Let's start with a handshake, huh? Maybe a hug to break the ice?
Seconds out. What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, I get it, man. Not everyone's the hugging type. I'm cool with that.
Round one. 10 reps. 10 reps each. There.
What? is this man up to? Better see what he has to say for himself. Your name?
From the blue corner, it's Rococo. Rocco. Ugh, my brain. It's Rocco. D-259. Caserto. Don't mind if I keep moving, do you, boss? But I can't let his heart rate drop, see?
Doesn't look like there's any danger of that. Don't you worry, don't you... It doesn't look like there's any danger of that. Don't you worry you'll lose too much weight doing all that.
I gotta make weight before a fight, boss. Won't even make it to the ring if you don't. Oh, so you're... Well, wait, I get it. You gotta be a boxer, right? Was back in the day, but it's good to stay fighting fit. Leastways, that's how I see it.
So, is the bear party you're training to? Looks kind of like an apron. It's so cute.
Ain't nothing cute about Teddy. Against my partner, see. This here polar bear keeps me on my toes.
He seems to have loosened up a little. Now's my chance.
What?
Now, where were you and Teddy at the time of the incident?
Come on, boss. I ain't no stoolie, and I don't know nothing no how.
I'll be the judge of that. Please answer the question.
You punch drunk or something, boss. I told you, I don't know zip.
Ugh, so he won't play ball.
Guess there's only one thing to do, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Indeed, the more he protests his ignorance, the more certain I am that he's hiding something. Alright, let's see exactly what you do and don't know, shall we, Mr. Carcito? Carcetto? Whatever. Carcerato. Now, let us analyze the state of play. He adopts a boxing stance when he's on high alert. My guess is that things won't go well if I push hard at such moments. When my opponent is on the offences, I should remain calm and bide my time. He's bound to reveal an opening eventually, which is when I will pounce. First, let's see if our friend here knows anything about the incident. I'll start by asking about his movements, and bring this fight to an end before he knows what hit him. Why don't you start by telling me what you've done today? You will answer me, Mr. Cassetto.
What? You wanna shoot at the champ, is that it? Then put him up, pal. Thrown in the tower already? It's gotta be a record.
Fisticuffs is hardly my style, but I'm more than happy to take you on in a game of chess. Incidentally, don't you get tired ducking and diving like that all the time?
You think I don't got the stamina, kid? Oh, just you try me. I ain't tired. Not today, not ever. Especially not today. Took it really easy this morning. Get me some quiet cell time. Hardly broke a sweat.
Really? You look pretty sweaty to me.
Give me a break, will ya? I'm done talking, okay? I'm tired. Yeah, real tired.
You may have kept your boxing skills sharp, Mr. Carcetto, but I'm afraid your lying needs quite a bit of work. Tired? Really? I hardly think that's possible. Especially not after you just told me about your quiet cell time this morning.
Oof. Oh, we gotta be careful here, Teddy. When this guy lands, he lands.
He's hiding something, I'm sure of it. I should try asking him about what was happening at the time of the incident. both in and outside of his cell. I won't need to use my fists in this next round. No, I'll deliver this knockout using carefully chosen words alone. Did you notice anything strange around the time of the incident? What do you mean, strange? Hey, get the heck out of the ring if you're not gonna fight. Ugh, I need to attack more if I aim to win. Ugh. Yeah. Haven't you noticed yet? You're backed into a corner. Get a load of this guy, Daddy. Thinks he's got the champ on the back foot. Guess I better knock some sense into him. Criminy. I'm gonna run out of fucking time. Okay. It's being more annoying than I thought it would. Answer the question. Tell me what was going on around that time. No, wish I could help you, boss. But I was asleep. We both was. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. I need to reconsider my approach. Do you remember what you were doing at the time of the incident? I was, catching some Z's. We both was. The incident happened only a short while ago. You seem wide awake, all things considered. Ryder's got to be able to get up quick when he's down, but he needs his beauty sleep too. Builds muscle. Is that so? Then I apologize for waking you. I have read that rest is an important part of any boxer's training regime. You don't say. So Mr. Prosecutor's savvy when it comes to the fighting game, huh? Oh no. Interesting. How do you know I'm a prosecutor? I don't remember telling you. You've been eavesdropping, haven't you? You've been listening to every word we said out here in the corridor. Which means you weren't asleep, and that you are lying again. You're a good kid. Caught me clean with that one. Alright, I admit it. I wasn't catching no Z's. But what? I can't work out in his cell no more without lawyers getting involved. There was a man taking care of himself with crime now. The fact that we now know he was awake is an important development. It could well prove to be a useful clue. Time to deploy my clue. Enough of your barefaced lies. You weren't asleep. You were exercising. You told me as much yourself. Oof. Counterpuncher. I should have seen that one coming. It seems I have you on the ropes, Mr. Cassetto. It's time to come clean about what you know. Alright. You don't gotta shout about it. Stomping around like you own the place. Teddy and his pals have been scared enough this morning already. You've done well to endure this long, but I feel you'll soon be out for the count. You say the animals have been scared enough already, which implies something happened here earlier. Well, what was it, Mr. Cassetto? Quit it, will you? I'm getting shellacked here. There. Fine. Somebody yelled, okay. Real loud, real scared. Got all the little guys scared too. Laugh it off, Mr. Big Shot Lawyer. Let me see you do the same thing in the ring. Checkmate. I think we've now established that you know more than you're letting on, don't you? Fine, I'll talk.
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth.
Let's not get carried away, Kay. Our work here has only just begun.
Hey, can we call a time out here for a sec, guys? There's something super big I need to say. It's just, well, it's like fate brought us here today after all these years, Edgeworth. And it's a real privilege watching how you work. Eye-opening stuff, in fact. Just thought you should know I'll be telling you-know-who what you've become.
Who know who?
Keen to get the lowdown, huh? Well,
Hold it!
That's enough. This has nothing to do with Kay.
whoa. Don't have a cow, man. Why so sensitive?
Report whatever you wish to whomever you wish. Just do it on somebody else's time.
Whatever you say, boss man. But I think you should know at least. You know, how you've been living your life since you signed on to doing things the wrong kind. After all, you've disappointed him enough for one lifetime already, am I right?
What's he talking about, Mr. Edgeworth?
Nothing that need concern you, Kay. Our focus should be on Mr. Cassetto. Now, shall we continue? It's time to hear the truth at last.
You won't land a glove on me, kid. That was the show. Finished right around 10 AM. Came back here after. Did me some training. Leastways I tried to. Barely got to the count of 2 before somebody screams, "What the?" Ah! I was hollering and howling and crying for help. What can I do? I'm locked up in here, right? So I tunes it out and I gets back to work.
I find it curious that you would pay so little heed to a desperate cry for help.
But like I say, boss, what can I do? Besides, this is the joint. Don't nobody thank nobody for getting involved in what ain't none of their concern. I hear you, brother. Best you could do is a rubberneck from in there anyway, am I right?
You mentioned training, Mr. Cassetto. I can't help but notice how well equipped your cell is.
Oh, there's a guy. The Fixer, they call him.
What's a fixer?
Fella who can get his hands on just about anything you need for a price. No way. Think you can find me a...
Perhaps, Mr. Cassetto, what you ought to ask for is a beginner's guide to giving better testimony. Because I can promise you that you'll be down for the count in 1.
You put me down? Try it, you bum. And what am I? Sharp liver?
Hold it!
What kind of show was it exactly?
It depends on the day. They bring 'em in from outside, see? Singers, dancers, all kinds. Gives us cons a little something to look forward to.
Nice. That sounds like fun.
And you went along to see today's show?
Sure I did. Can't miss a chance to get a glimpse of the outside world now, can I? Then it was over.
Hold it!
What did this training involve?
Let's see now. Today was stamina and rhythm work, which means jump rope.
What? In that tiny cell? Oh. And what about Teddy? Isn't that dangerous for him?
Kid's no dummy. Second I get my rope out, he jumps up and holds on tight.
You jump rope with a polar bear clinging to your chest.
Told you, didn't I? We're partners.
And besides, a little extra weight's good for me. Anyway, I started jumping rope.
Hold it!
Tell us more about the scream you heard.
It was the scream of a guy about to scream his last. I should know. Whoa there, good buddy. There's a time and a place, you know.
So, it was clearly audible.
Guy backed into a corner fighting for his life. You ever heard something like that, boss? Well, I have. And yeah, it was clearly audible.
Does this get a soundproof or anything? What are these?
Hold it!
And that's all you heard? There was nothing else?
Nope, nothing much anyhow.
So there was something. What else did the victim say? You have to tell me.
Oh, I do, huh? Why don't you come on over here and I'll see if I can make you squeal like he did. Whoa, 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 whoa! Forgive the kid here. He doesn't know when to quit. Come on, Miles. Apologize to the good man.
But this is clearly important, and yet he insists on remaining infuriatingly vague.
Look, friend, how about you let this slide, please? For me? So yeah, I heard the voice like I said.
Hold it!
You were able to concentrate on your training even after hearing all that screaming.
Look, if we was on the outside, maybe things would have been different. Maybe I'd have seen what I could do. But this ain't the outside. Can't go no place, even if I want to.
And you didn't think to slip out from your cell to go sneak a peek?
I don't think anybody else would have thought of doing that except you, Kay.
Only this wasn't a prison. Mr. Knight might have lived.
I somehow doubt it. Frankly speaking, there was no saving him.
What? But if somebody could have just gotten to him in time.
Mr. Corsetto is clearly lying. What I don't understand is why. Let's see what I can uncover by pointing out the contradiction in his testimony.
Objection!
Are you listening carefully, Mr. Corsetto?
Huh? You trying to be cute or something?
The victim died from a wound to the throat, and very quickly at that. He had neither the time nor the ability to scream as you claim he did. You say you heard the victim's cries, and yet that would have been impossible.
But there must have been a scream. He said there was.
He said there was?
You quit looking so smug, will you? Fine, I admit it. I didn't hear nothing, alright. But the guy in the next cell did. He told me so.
The next cell?
You mean...
What do you want? I heard a scream. What of it?
We came back from the show and they put us in our cells, same as always. And just like I told this guy, I heard it. A scream. A real scary one. Scary? How exactly?
Didn't tell him this part, I guess, but it was kind of like... Eek! Someone, anyone, come quickly. He's... something like that. Well, I guess it's safe to say
That probably wasn't the victim. Indeed, sounds more likely to have been the person who found his body.
That explains it. Then Mr. Cassetto was telling the truth, more or less.
Is that really the case, though? Are there really no problems now with his testimony? I'm afraid a new problem has reared its head, namely... Why didn't you hear the scream yourself, Mr. Cassetto?
Yeah, what gives, pal? How come you didn't hear anything when your neighbour heard it clear as day? Yeah. Why do you think I did the crime or something, huh? I'm inside of this here cell. I died over in the workshop in case you forgot. Well, yeah, it does seem a little weird now that you mention it.
He's right, neither of us could have done it. Let me tell you, if I could get out of this here cage and murder somebody, you'd all be toast. Ain't that the truth? You bums aren't leaving this place in one piece if any of us can help it. I almost forgot these men are hardened criminals. Well, I won't be doing that again anytime soon. I guess this wasn't how you saw this going, Edgeworth. What's my next move here? I won't get much more out of them in this state.
Oh, who's there?
Order in the court.
Who died and made you the boss of me, huh? Can't you see we're kind of busy here?
Hush now. Silence is golden.
It is.
Your hand, if you please. By the power vested in me, I hereby sentence you to blissful silence. Praise be, a simple life awaits you. No money, no possessions. May the goddess of justice watch over you now and always. Guard, if you would.
Looks like you'll be spending the night in solitary, buddy.
What? Come on, please, boss. Any place but there.
There is no need to be afraid, my child. If anything, you should rejoice. This is a blessing, a chance to redeem yourself, to be reborn.
No!
O goddess of justice, bless your child and keep him in your care. O Holy One who gives thanks in your name. We give thanks in your name. There.
And you are?
Verity Gaval at your service. It is my honor to bear the title of judge and to work at the pleasure of the law.
And what is a judge doing in a place like this?
Since you ask, Mr. Edgeworth, I have been sent here to find you. I come bearing a message from the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, and it is my sacred duty to deliver it. The Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence? What the heck is that? It is first and foremost a name that should not be taken in vain, my child. For it is a sacred phrase from the goddess of justice herself.
Why don't I fill you in, kiddo? The committee is a panel of 11 people whose job is to keep our beloved prosecutors honest. In other words, they make sure people like Edgeworth here don't cross the professional line.
The panel is comprised of people from both the legal and political professions. A panel of which you are a member, I assume.
I am. Allow me to thank you on the committee's behalf for your service.
Thanks for coming to see us like this. Speaking for myself, it's a real honor to meet you. It's always great to hang with a judicial compadre. Come on, bring it in and chillax. We're all friends here.
Overruled.
Need I remind you that the committee has a long-standing relationship with the Bar Association?
Hey, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just trying to light the mood, okay?
So, your job is to find bad prosecutors and punish them? Precisely, my child. Praise be to the goddess of justice for bestowing her gifts of insight unto you. The committee has the power to remove problematic prosecutors from cases. And should a prosecutor truly unworthy of the title be brought to our attention, we are vested with the power to confiscate that prosecutor's badge.
And what does the Committee for Prosecutory, whatever you said, want with Mr. Edgeworth? We're in the middle of an investigation here.
Objection!
Pitiful! You really don't know, do you, what an ignoramus?
And who are you, pal?
Winner, Eustace Winner, Prosecutor Extraordinaire. Though you might know me as just the Winner, a name they call me down at the prosecutor's office. With great affection, I might add.
I have never heard of you.
And how about Detective Flatford over there?
Nope. Name means nothing to me.
Well, it's to be expected of an ignoramus, I suppose. Ignorance is sweet, as they say, so I'm sure most things mean sweet nothings to you.
Ignorance is bliss. Winner and I don't think sweet nothings mean what you think it means. Ignorance is bliss, Winner. And I don't think sweet nothings means what you think it means.
It is entirely natural that you aren't yet acquainted. Eustace only joined us just last month.
So he's nothing but a rookie.
I'm not just any rookie. I'm a winning rookie. Which he will prove himself to be in due time. Now, let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth. What do you mean? What mess?
I fear I know exactly what he means. The committee's sending an envoy with a new prosecutor in tow. I suspect I know what you're getting at, Winner. But I'm going to need a few more details. Would you mind explaining, Judge Gaval?
Very well. By the power vested in me by the Goddess of Justice, I hereby declare that in the matter of the incident at the presidential address and the murder of Mr. Bronco Knight, the committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict.
What? Mr. Edgeworth is off the case, just like that?
Judge Gavel, I believe I asked for an explanation.
No explanation is required. The guilty verdict is in. The goddess has spoken and her judgment is final.
Objection!
And what exactly have I done to warrant being taken off the case?
Come now, Mr. Edgeworth. Claiming ignorance of your crimes will not serve to lessen your guilt. You boarded the presidential plane violating the principle of extraterritoriality, and while there, you performed an unsanctioned investigation and subjugated a visiting foreign leader to questioning. You were one wrong move away from causing a major international incident. You vastly overstepped the authority of your office. To call it an abuse of power would be no understatement.
Objection!
I don't deny that I may have pushed the boundaries where certain rules were concerned, but there is also no denying that certain risks must be taken if one is to arrive at the truth. I refuse to concede that my actions were inappropriate.
Overruled!
Then what you are saying is that the ends justify the means, that rules can be freely ignored. That is a very dangerous way of thinking. The law is absolute. It is not to be bent to your whims.
Forgive me, but not all of us believe as you do.
Is that so? How unfortunate. Still, it changes nothing. When a trial ends, the hammer falls. Be your defendant or attorney, even if the verdict seems irrational, nothing more can be done. Nothing, that is, but to give thanks for the goddess of justice's divine grace. Unless you wish to appeal, to do so would be to risk your badge, of course.
So they mean to take my badge if I don't play along.
Whoa, tough break, Edgeworth.
I see you've accepted your fate. Good. Guards, if you would be so kind as to escort him out.
No, stop! No, stop!
I can't do that. Why can't I? Never mind. What are you doing, detective? I'm in charge here now, so you'll do as I say and move out of the way.
What? You're not bossing me!
Luckily for you, Flatfoot, that's exactly what I am.
I'm holding all the cards here. I don't stand a chance. Detective Gumshoe, do as Mr. Winner says.
But, sir...
Judge Gavel,
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
the committee's decision is beyond irrational, so yes, I do plan to appeal. You haven't heard the last of this.
Duly noted. Until we meet again, then.
Let's go, Kay. We're leaving.
Right.
Oh, and remember, you know who will be getting a full report on all of this.
Still can't believe what happened yesterday. It was terrible, the way those two treated you. Now, let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clear out your mess, Edgeworth. The committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor Edgeworth be relieved of his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict.
Judge Gavel and Mr. Winner certainly didn't mince their words. But that's not what concerns me right now. I'm more worried about the committee's reasons for doing what they did. And what they might do next. I suspect it won't be good.
After Mr. Edgeworth, are you listening to me?
Yes, of course.
So this is it. You're giving up on the Bronco Knights case?
No, I have no intention of doing any such thing. To walk away from the case would be to tactically accept the committee's decision. The only problem is that I don't have the authority to continue investigating. Yes, what is it, Detective?
Oh, I've got some bad news, sir. Word down at the precinct is that they just arrested somebody for Knight's murder.
What? Do you know who it is?
No, but I heard they're being held in the detention centre. Maybe you could go and talk to wherever it is.
Good idea. Let's get down there, Mr. Edgeworth.
Even without the authority to investigate, surely I can still pay a suspect an innocent visit.
All right, we're on our way. Well, me too. I'll see you there, sir.
But won't you be missed, Detective?
Nah, everyone's busy in the prison going over the crime scene anyway.
Good, then we'll see you shortly.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Kay, let's go.
You got it. Still no sign of them, huh?
Indeed.
Wait, this is just like last time.
Please don't tempt fate like that.
No, I can't. I just can't.
Sure you can. I told you. It's just a pair of visitors.
Sounds like someone really doesn't want to see us. No.
Just talk with them, please.
But one of them's a prosecutor, right? Aren't they all super scary? All they do is stare at you right into your soul.
Ah, you must be the suspect in the...
Nyeh! See, I told you.
Kay, why is this man so flustered?
Probably because you're being you. And I guess that's just how you are.
Thanks for clearing up absolutely nothing.
Hey, Mr. Suspect. You doing okay in there? We just want to have a little chat with you. No biggie, right? Who are you? I'm Kate Faraday, Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick. It's just a part-time gig. I'm doing while I take a break from my real job, though.
Funny. I don't recall employing you.
That's Mr. Edgeworth. He is a prosecutor, but he's not going to stare a hole into your soul or anything.
Please.
Really? Really?
Really.
Nyeh. Anyway, can you first please tell us your name? It's Saint. Seaman Saint. Well, nice to meet you, Seaman. Simeon. Yeah, Simeon Saint. Simeon. Well, nice to meet you, Simeon. You can call me Kay. Everyone else does.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, I would like to ask you a few questions if I may.
Please, Simeon. We're trying to help you. I promise. Really?
Thanks to Kay, it sounds like we might finally get some answers. At least. Perhaps you could start by telling us a little about yourself.
Who, me? Why would anyone want to know anything about me? I'm boring. Nothing. Nobody.
Do you have a job?
Oh, well, it's hardly worth mentioning, really.
I'm your average corporate pencil pusher, just like everybody else, honest.
This is going to take a while. About you and Mr. Knight. Just when I thought we were making progress. Okay.
So, Simeon, did you know Mr. Knight? Come on, you can tell me.
Bronco. Yeah, I knew him. We were friends.
Interesting. I wonder if he knew that Knight had been arrested.
And, did you know that Mr. Knight had been arrested?
Yeah, I even came to visit him.
He came to see Knight. I wonder when that would have been.
And when was that, Simeon?
He wanted to say Simon.
It was the day before yesterday, around lunchtime. I came as soon as I got the call from the cops.
The police caught him? Why?
How come the police called you?
They said Bronco asked them to, that he needed a favor.
Favor?
Uh-huh. He wanted me to bring him his chess set, the pocket-sized one. I went by his place and then I came here.
A chess set?
Chess set?
Is it just me, or is she getting better at stealing my thoughts?
You do know everything you think is written all over your face, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, I'm not a mind reader, just an expression reader. Amazing, right? Don't you just love having a sidekick as helpful as me?
And have you read what my next move is going to be?
I sure have. It's something you want to show Simeon.
Indeed. Let's present it to him and see what he has to say about it.
So, this chess set.
Oh, that's the one I brought for Bronco.
Well, that settles that at least.
We, found it next to Mr. Knight.
You always have to have a chessboard somewhere nearby.
I'm not surprised he had it with him when he... Simeon, you and Mr. Knight, you were very close, weren't you?
Yeah, we were best friends. At least I thought we were. I guess I was wrong about that.
What do you mean?
If I knew him so well, why was it such a shock for me to find out he'd killed someone?
It's not easy discovering that someone you're close to has committed a terrible crime. It's a very bitter pill to swallow indeed.
How could it all end like this? I could never have imagined something so awful.
Something's not right here, Mr. Edgeworth. Just no way Simeon murdered Mr. Knight.
Yes, he certainly doesn't seem to have an obvious motive. Then again, he wouldn't have been arrested for no reason either. Wonder what grounds they had for doing so. Why were you arrested, Mr. Saint? I just don't get it. Why won't he talk to me?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
Whoa, he answered you, Mr. Edgeworth. I guess he's not scared of you anymore.
Thank goodness for small miracles.
The cops burst into my house this morning out of nowhere. And before I knew it, I was here.
These policemen, was there a prosecutor with them?
Yes, some kid named Winner or something.
A rookie. I thought as much.
So, did they interrogate you yet?
What?
I'm going to be interrogated? By the cops? Well, yeah, I mean, you've been arrested. You're a suspect now. No. No. Won't the detective shout at me and threaten me and... Ooh. There are always these hulking guys, right? Who get in your face and force you to.
Detective Dick comes to report for duty.
See, I told you. Please don't hurt me. Please don't crush me with those huge arms. No, please. I'm calling the cops.
What's up with this guy, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, nothing, Detective. You're just being you. I guess it's just how you are.
Oh, I don't get it, sir.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth. Simeon is clearly innocent. There's got to be something we can do for him, isn't there?
Mr. Saint,
Yes?
you were Mr. Knight's friend, and 2 days ago you came to visit him. You had nothing at all to do with his murder. Is my understanding correct?
Yes. I didn't kill anybody.
Very well. Then I will choose to believe you, and I will do all that I can to assist you.
But why would you help nobody like me?
Let's just say that I may not be doing it solely for your sake. I have something of a personal interest in this case.
That's right. It's payback time. We'll show those two whose investigation reigns supreme.
Oh yeah, now we're cooking.
Unfortunately, I still lack the authority to conduct said investigation. As such, my resources are rather limited, and I'll need to lean heavily on the ones I do have at hand. Which means you, Mr. Saint. Your information will be invaluable going forward. In other words, let's see if we can't help one another out, shall we?
Oh, I just thought of something. Why don't you just borrow an attorney's badge? Then you could represent our pal here.
Now's not the time for jokes, Gummy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth is a prosecutor. He couldn't defend anyone if his life depended on it.
But I wasn't kidding. I just thought helping suspects, that's what a defense attorney does, you know.
Sure, but we can do that too. The only thing that matters is that we find the real culprit in the end. So come on, let's get to work.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you already know. I'm sure you know already, but just to be clear, if our investigation ultimately proves you to be the culprit, we'll have no choice but to treat you like any other suspect. But you needn't worry. I believe you, or at least I have decided to try, for now. Just hold tight and try to believe in us in return, if nothing else. It might help you to feel a little less alone. Now, if you'll excuse me.
So, we talked to a game in there, but we can't even get back inside the main prison to see the scene of the crime.
Well, maybe defending the guy in court is our best bet after all.
Gummy can't defend for his life, remember? I really wish it would just give me the name. I'm gonna assume it's that guy.
Well, who do we have here? If it isn't Edgeworth and the gang, what are you cats doing here?
Oh, listen, pal, if you come to harass Mr. Edgeworth again, I'll...
Hey, easy there, Detective Flatfoot Sholmes. I'm here to work.
Work? What? You're here to defend somebody?
Whoa, the K-Meister nails in one. Aren't you just the uber intelligentes of the bunch?
uber intelligentes. That's not how you use either of those words, Fender.
Some may say I'm an easygoing old rogue about town, but I'm actually not a half-bad attorney. Which is why I've been summoned to the old Jallaroonie for a meeting with a new client. The suspect is one 7A Sainsbury.
You mean Simino? Bleh. You mean Simeon Saint?
Whoa, that's freaky. You know more about my job than I do.
Wait, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Fender's a defense attorney. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I fear I might be. In fact, it could be our only option. Not so long ago, I found myself embroiled in another case that wasn't mine. I managed to worm my way onto the crime scene by agreeing to be a certain someone's subordinate. Not an experience I ever wanted to repeat, but I fear I may have little choice. Fender,
Before you say another word, I just gotta point out the fine print. Eddie Fender doesn't take on associates. Say it ain't so, I hear you prostrating. But pompous prosecutors are a no-go. Especially those of the Von Karma variety.
I should have known he wouldn't forgive me that easily. I understand why you wouldn't want to work with someone like me. What's more, I understand how you feel about all things Von Karma. But please, believe me when I say, I'm not the man I was back then. I'm no longer under my old mentor's spell.
Well, you better believe it, pal. Mr. Edgeworth's a changed man. Or he used to be the demon prosecutor, but he's not like that anymore.
I do have feelings, Detective.
Gummy's right. Mr. Edgeworth's one of the good guys now. He's not just a prosecutor, he's a hero. He got me off the hook just last month.
You don't say. Well, that escalated quickly.
But he was. There's no other word for it. He was heroic. Great thief even.
Please, Fender. Don't you think there's something odd about the way the committee stepped in yesterday? There's more to this case than meets the eye. I'm certain of it. I can't just walk away from this. I can't. Please, allow me to help you with this investigation.
Sheesh. A bow from the great Miles Edgeworth. Never thought I'd see the day, but here we are. So enlighten me, if you will. What made the leopard change his spots?
Well, I suppose I would have to say the courtroom itself.
I've experienced so many things and met so many people there within its four walls,
including some old friends who showed me a better way to be. How could that not change a person?
Well, I'll be. The old Jew would never have bared his soul like that. That was beautiful. It might have even surprised you-know-who, and you know how much that takes. Tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start again with a clean slate. So, this is me.
Edgeworth and Co-Law Offices. Eddie Fender, senior partner.
Edgeworth?
That's right. Mr. Fender here began his legal career as an assistant to my late father, Gregory Edgeworth.
What? Your dad was a defense attorney? So, you know who Mr. Fender keeps talking about is...
The clever K-Meister nails it in one yet again. That's right. I was talking about his old man. I guess you all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak. Least I could do for old George, really. Listen, Edgeworth. Miles. I'm going to level with you here. I don't trust you. Not fully, anyway. You can't just forget about all those years you spent licking Von Karma's boots, you know?
Anyone can say they've changed. I'm gonna need you to prove it. And besides, you know it's what Gregory would have wanted. Very well, I accept. Okay then, that's enough hardball for one day. Let's move on to the fun stuff. I hereby appoint you interim associate of Edgeworth & Co. Congrats, man. I'll try not to let you down. Well, doesn't this bring a tear to your eye? The prodigal son coming on board at his late father's firm.
Permission to come on board, team. Please, Mr. Vendor.
You don't even have to ask, kiddo. Welcome to the crew.
Woohoo! Thanks, Captain.
Alright, I guess it's time to go to work. So, where to begin? Any bright ideas, Miles? Where were we when we were so rudely interrupted? Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim. Indeed, it sounds more likely to have been the person who found the body. I believe we need to speak with the person who found the body. Just what I was thinking, eager associate. We do indeed. Still the type to smile and nod, I see. That will certainly make my life easier, boss.
Well, that's decided. Let's get moving.
What about me? I'm a detective. I can't just hop on board as an attorney's assistant like you guys.
He has a point. I can't leave him adrift all on his own now, can I? Detective Gumshoe, I have a special assignment for you. You are to continue investigating the case under Mr. Winner. And if you happen to discover anything that seems useful, you are to notify me immediately. You are in a uniquely powerful position, Detective, and I'm going to need all the info you can pass your way.
You can count on me, sir. I'm a real pro when it comes to letting things slip to the defense.
Trust me, I know. But just this once, those loose lips of yours might be what saves our ship.
Throw wide the prison gates, good sir, 'cause here we come.
So, any idea how we tracked down whoever found the Broncaster's body, Miles? I think our best bet would be to simply ask around.
Oh, don't you dare.
Who is this? Excuse me, but...
Oh, my. Just look at you.
Are you talking to me?
Just fabulously chic, darling. Fabulously. Facial hair is so very awkward, don't you think?
Enchanté, mademoiselle. I'm much obliged. Defense attorney Eddie Fender at your service. Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embracer, perhaps?
I like the sound of that.
Right on the kisser.
Well, how else does one greet a new friend? A little smooch is entirely rare, don't you think? Wow, talk about stealing a kiss.
Indeed. An act so shameless it puts even great thieves to shame.
Physical contact is so very important as a form of expression of a little family. Everyone in this lovely home will tell you as much.
Hey, if everyone else is hip to that, I can be hip to that too, sure.
Fifi the guard, by the way, warden of this charming abode. You may call me Fifi, of course.
Oh, she is the warden of the entire detention center and prison facility, is she? A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Lagarde. Miles Edgeworth. I'm a an associate with Mr. Fender's practice. I hope you don't mind me asking, but were you here in the prison yesterday?
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day after all.
Important in what way exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps?
A meeting? Oh, heavens no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No, yesterday the circus came to visit. It was a simply spectacular event featuring some terrific talented animals. Anyone who was anyone had to be there. If you were here at home, you were watching the show with me. The performers set up special stage in the yard just for us. We are one very lucky family, n'est-ce pas?
So, she was at this circus performance for the inmates yesterday morning. Mr. Carsetto mentioned a show yesterday as well. He must have been talking about the same thing. What time did this show take place?
From around 8 until 10, maybe? Yes, something like that.
Meaning it finished right around when the body was discovered. And by dint of having attended the show, she has a reasonably solid alibi.
Oh, would you look at the time. Sorry, darlings, but I really must dash. Feel free to explore our home. Makasa, Sukasa, and all that. Ciao for now. Well, what now, Mr. Edgeworth?
The person who found the body screamed, and that scream was heard by one inmate we know of. And therefore, our first task is to question this inmate and see where this information will take us next.
A very familiar parrot there. Oh, it's a blurb about the guy in this cell. Let's see what it says. Prisoner number D259. Classification Habitat. See cell to the right.
Not exactly helpful, is it?
This grizzly fellow has a pet polar bear called Teddy. He's a former boxer who loves to stay trim and is always at optimal fighting weight. He may push his body to the max, but he is relentlessly kind to himself. Omnivore.
Who exactly is all this information for, anyway? They even have ponies. This one's only big enough to carry a small child.
That's great, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like being at the zoo.
Except it's the humans, not the animals who live in captivity here.
No one would mind if we took one home with me, would they?
If by home you mean behind bars, then no, I suppose not. There's no one in here.
They took him to solitary, remember? Wonder when he'll be back.
Maybe a while. I get the feeling he was in pretty serious trouble.
Poor guy. Did you see the tears in his eyes? He really didn't want to go.
Yes, the way they had to literally drag him away was certainly unusual for a simple timeout. I shudder to think what kind of punishment he's facing right now.
Right on the kisser.
She seems to have given you quite a shock.
Why is that? I thought you were a man of the world.
Yeah, well, I'm all for saying hi with a hug, but going straight for the kisser? Call your boots, am I right? Woo me a little before puckering up, that's all I ask.
Well, I never would have pegged you as a shy type.
That's not the issue here, I think, eh?
Listen, Miles, I've been meaning to ask, does that frown of yours turn upside down? An assistant with a permanent scowl on his face is bad for business, you know.
I don't see any reason why an associate attorney needs to smile.
And that's how I know you never worked in a private practice. It's all about building trust, man. You got to create rapport with your clients. A smile here, a wink there. A hug to break the ice, and a card to show you're legit. Otherwise, they'll never open up.
Yes, well, To each their own, Fender.
I'll give it to you straight. Running the biz was tough going at first. I mean, Gregory Edgeworth. Man, those are some pretty big shoes to fill.
I see. And what kind of cases does the firm take on?
Might be better asking what we don't. We do murders, parking fines, the whole 9 yards. Our basic principle is this: everyone deserves a defense.
So you never refused a request?
Well, let's just say I have certain preferences in the clients I work with.
Didn't you just say that everyone deserves a defense?
I'm just messing with you, little sis. Of course, we treat all our clients the same. I mean, Gregory's name is still above the door. Got to live up to his ideals, you know. And that means always doing my best for everyone.
Edgeworth and Co. The firm my father built them. God, I can feel my throat going as I keep talking. It is way earlier than I wanted to, but I'm gonna have to stop here for now, or I'm going to damage my voice. Ugh. Unfortunate, but whatever.
So, we shall continue from here tomorrow then. For now, though, bye.